Welcome back to The Explainer, everybody. If you've been following along with our academy, massive congratulations, because you have officially reached Day 7. Look, just a week ago, we were simply learning the basic names of the positions on the pitch. But today we're leveling up. We are completely transforming from passive fans into active, sharp-eyed tactical analysts. We're going to study what top coaches around the world call the absolute heart of football, the midfield. Okay, let's dive into this. Just take a second and really absorb this incredibly famous footballing quote. It perfectly sets the stakes for why we're here today. You see, the glory usually goes to the attackers who score, right? And the gritty, hard-earned respect goes to the defenders keeping those clean sheets. But the midfield? Man, the midfield is the engine room. It is absolutely the most crucial zone on the pitch, because whoever controls the middle of the park, well, they dictate the entire reality of the match.
So here's our quick roadmap for today's masterclass. We'll hit the brain of the team, 3 key midfield roles, advanced tactical concepts, elite midfield skills, the chain reaction, and finally, analyzing like a pro. By the end of this structured flow, I promise you, it'll completely change how you watch the beautiful game. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The brain of the team. Why midfield is so important. We're moving way beyond just learning position names now.
To truly understand the midfield, we have to look past the grass and the boots and start looking at the deeper anatomy of a football squad. It's actually brilliant if you think of a team like a human body. The goalkeeper? That's the heart, keeping everything alive at the very back. The defenders are the skeleton, providing all that rigid structure and shape. The attackers are the hands, striking out to finish the job. But the midfield is the brain. Just like your brain decides when your body moves, the midfield decides absolutely everything for the team. It decides when to press high, when to hold possession and catch a breath, which side of the pitch to exploit, and exactly when to launch a devastating attack. If a team loses this cognitive center, if they lose the midfield battle, they literally lose control of the entire match.
Moving on to Section 2. 3 key midfield roles, the 6, 8, and 10. Let's identify the specific lobes of this footballing brain, starting right at the foundation.
So, there isn't just one type of midfielder. First up is the number 6, traditionally known as the defensive midfielder. This player operates right in front of the defensive line, and their primary job? Protect the center backs at absolutely all costs. But look, it's not just about tackling. They're responsible for winning second balls, those unpredictable, loose deflections, and breaking up the opponent's attacks before they even get near the penalty area. Players like Rodri at Manchester City, Declan Rice at Arsenal, or Moises Caicedo at Chelsea, they're absolute masters of this. They're the anchor. They keep the team's structural shape perfectly intact, and when they win the ball back, they're the ones initiating the build-up play.
When you're watching a live match, you'll hear the commentators recognize this sort of invisible, vital work. They'll shout something like, "The number 6 is screening the defense brilliantly, cutting out passing lanes before they become dangerous." It's all about anticipation. They are reading the game 2 steps ahead, standing in the exact spot the opponent wanted to pass into. Next, we step slightly further up the pitch to the number 10. Actually, scratch that, I'm jumping ahead. We go to the number 8, the classic box-to-box midfielder. If the 6 is the anchor, the 8 is the roaring engine of the team. This player is quite literally everywhere. They have to have immense stamina because their job requires them to attack, defend, press, and create. They link that defensive foundation straight to the attacking threat. They recover back to help out, and then they're suddenly bursting forward to make those crucial late runs into the opponent's penalty box. They cover an unbelievable amount of ground.
The praise for a number 8 sounds entirely different on a broadcast. You'll hear the commentator shouting over the roar of the crowd, "The number 8 has covered every single blade of grass today." It's that relentless, high-octane physical effort that just completely overwhelms the opposition's midfield.
Finally, sitting right at the tip of the midfield triangle, we have the number 10, the attacking midfielder. Now, I really want you to focus on this exact phrase, between the lines. The number 10 operates in that highly contested, dangerous territory right between the opposition's midfield and their defense. They aren't running everywhere like the 8. Instead, they're hunting. They're looking for little pockets of space. They are the primary chance creators, threading those perfectly weighted through balls right to the strikers.
A commentator watching a master number 10 at work will sound almost mesmerized. They'll say, "The number 10 just keeps finding space between the opposition's midfield and defense." It's almost like they have an invisibility cloak. Their positioning alone is what dictates that final, lethal phase of the attack.
All right, Section 3, Advanced Tactical Concepts, Double Pivots, and Playmakers. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we transition into deeper tactical setups.
Modern football rarely uses just a basic textbook setup. Managers love to tinker. Sometimes a single number 6 just isn't enough, especially against a really aggressive opponent. So a manager will deploy a double pivot, meaning they play 2 number 6s side by side. The crucial thing here is focusing on the why over the what. It's not just to be overly defensive. Yes, it offers better protection, for sure, but it actually creates much easier build-up play. With 2 players sitting deep, the team suddenly has way more passing options out of the back and far superior structural balance if they happen to lose the ball.
And here is another brilliant tactical wrinkle. Not every defensive midfielder is just a rugged physical ball winner. Enter the deep-lying playmaker. These players sit deep, exactly like a traditional number 6, but they dictate the entire match purely through composed, line-breaking passes. They'll receive the ball under immense pressure, effortlessly switch the play to the other side of the pitch, and break lines with these laser-accurate passes. They aren't the destroyers, they're the conductors of the orchestra, controlling the whole rhythm of the game from the deepest part of the midfield.
Moving to Section 4, Elite Midfield Skills, Controlling the Unseen Game. This is where we transition into the cognitive skills that elevate good midfielders to absolute elite status. Speaking of dictating rhythm, we need to transition away from the tactical whiteboard for a second and get into the minds of the players themselves. What are the unseen skills that make a game changer? Well, it starts with tempo. Tempo is simply the speed of the game. Now, a casual fan just wants their team to attack as fast as possible, literally all the time. But elite midfielders, they know that playing fast constantly just leads to chaos and losing the ball. The true mark of a world-class midfielder is knowing exactly when to inject lightning speed to catch the defense off guard and when to slow the game down to a crawl, retaining possession, taking the sting out of the opponent's press, and letting their teammates catch their breath. They literally hold the dial that controls the game's speed.
But how do they actually know what tempo to play? The secret is a crucial skill called scanning. If you watch really closely, elite midfielders are constantly turning their heads, looking over their shoulders before they even receive a pass. They're taking mental pictures. Where are my teammates? Where are the defenders? Where is that pocket of space? Because they've already mapped out the pitch in their heads, the moment the ball touches their feet, they already know what they're going to do. This is exactly why the best players in the world always seem to have so much extra time and composure on the ball. They aren't faster physically, they are faster mentally.
And the ultimate reward for great scanning and controlling the tempo is the ability to execute this: breaking the lines. Imagine a packed midfield with opponents everywhere. An elite midfielder sees a tiny angle and plays one decisive, crisp pass straight through that block, finding an attacking teammate like our number 10 on the other side. With a single swing of the boot, that perfect line-breaking pass mathematically removes 4 or 5 defending players from the equation entirely. It is absolutely devastating.
Section 5, the chain reaction, winning the midfield battle. Let's move to and see how this builds in real time. Let's see how all these isolated concepts actually chain together in a live scenario. Picture yourself in the commentary box as the play develops. It starts deep. The number 6 wins the second ball brilliantly. He spots the run and passes out to the number 8, who immediately drives the team forward. He looks up and finds the number 10 waiting perfectly in a pocket of space between the lines. The 10 turns, plays a devastating through ball, and the striker scores. Boom. Right there, in 5 seconds, you just witnessed the entire midfield ecosystem working perfectly together to dismantle the opponent. It used basically all of our key vocabulary words in one single sequence. Okay, final section. Section 6, Analyzing Like a Pro. The 30-second rule. Let's bring the focus back here because this is the tip that really separates the casuals from the true analysts.
That gets the blood pumping, doesn't it? As we wrap up today's masterclass, I want to give you this massive aha moment. When a striker smashes the ball into the top corner, the whole stadium erupts, and everyone naturally praises the finish. But the best analysts know the real truth. They know that the goal actually started 30 seconds earlier. It started with a midfielder who scanned their surroundings, who dictated the perfect tempo, and who bravely played a pass that broke the opposition's lines. As an analyst, you don't just celebrate that final action, you appreciate the entire incredible sequence that made it possible.
So I'm going to leave you with this analyst challenge for the next time you sit down to watch a match. Look away from the ball for just a moment. Ask yourself, who is really controlling the tempo out there? Which player is constantly scanning over their shoulder? And ultimately, which team is winning that crucial midfield battle? Take these questions into your next viewing, and I promise you, you will see the game in a completely new, incredibly fascinating light. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay eager to explore some attacking patterns next time, and keep that pitch vision sharp.